All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? By the way, again, I keep forgetting. Very modest of me. Very modest. Award-winning podcast Cheaper Than Therapy. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing and coming on back. I do appreciate you for doing that. Also, this podcast, we may be moving on to White House correspondence. Still waiting to hear back from the White House on that one. We may be moving to different heights. Who knows? Episode 300 may be massive. But yeah, until then, listen, I was going to say come see me live, but this weekend, you would have missed it. It's going to post Monday. Never mind. You missed me at the Borgata Casino, Atlantic City. I'm going to post all my dates. They're now on my Instagram page. My whole tour in March. There's no point me listing them. I have so many to list. So starting on March 2nd, I believe, my tour kicks off on Long Island, and it goes through Florida up to Massachusetts, Jersey, plenty of stops along the way. I'm going to Nevada. I end the tour in Nevada, I think. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a fun time. So go see me live if you want. And I'll talk to you after the show too. I'm not a snob. I ain't a snob there at the old people at the old Mick Thomas Cheaper Than Therapy comedy tour. I don't know what to call a tour, actually. That's an interesting one. What should I call it? Interesting. But anyway, we'll move on. So, episode 296. We're 4 away from 300. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I really am contemplating just fucking calling this quits, axing the whole show down, and just concentrate on other things. Some days I have, sometimes they're fun, sometimes it's not. I don't really do any research. It's not really that hard work. I do know editing, obviously, as you watch it. I've turned down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for advertisement over the years, and for you people. And we'll see where it takes us. And maybe I'll reach out and try and get a tech guy. If anyone knows anything about editing, I want to take a class on editing from this guy, and maybe I might take the show in a different direction. We'll see what happens. I'm staying out of it for now until then. Right, let's talk about it. Right, on March 17th in Toronto, a Delta airline carrying 80 people crashed. Now, it didn't just crash, it was a vicious crash. It fell from the sky, rolled over. I think we're blaming the snow conditions on there too. A miracle, thank God nobody was killed. I do believe 18 people were injured. That's what they're going to say, like, did you ever rear end somebody? I did. Oh, man, and they get out of the car, and it's like, oh, my neck. Here we go. Like, I hit one a few months ago. I did an episode about it, and she had on her car MILF on board. And when she got out of the car, she wasn't a MILF. She was definitely not a mother I would like to sleep with. She wasn't in the slightest. And just, it'll tell you what kind of trash she was, right? Just trying to milk insurance. This is why our insurance goes up. Isn't it? Because people just milk this system. Our health insurance goes up because of fatties. And, and this is what happens. This is what happened, right? So, there's going to be a lot of people like, oh no, I'm upside down. My neck, the seatbelts are strong. What's wrong with you? You're fine. You didn't get hurt. I mean, maybe you did. If a plane rolls over, right? I guess something's... Especially if you're sitting next to... I don't know. Maybe your ears. Imagine listening to all that screaming. Oof. But anyway, Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines, by the way, have, I believe on record, 11 crashes in the history of Delta. Now, which is, I think, the most airline crashes, and again, fact check me on that one, I think is Air France. So there are a few behind Air France, but still, why are they? Now, they came out and they said, listen, here's the thing. Don't worry about it, we're fine. This is not going to be one of those episodes where I'm just going to take a certain race of people, a certain gender, a certain sexual orientation, and I'm going to shit all over them. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is state facts. Delta Airlines number 1 in DEI, right? They're just number 1 in DEI. And if you remember a few years ago, I did a very Trump movement there. Did you see my hands? Oh no, I can't do that in part. Oh no. You're going to fall from the sky. I'm not going to do an impression. So what happened was, a few years ago, as you know, I was flying to LA and they called me to the side, Delta did. And it wouldn't let me fly because of a joke I put on Twitter at the time, now X. And the joke was, I got to the counter and they called me to send a man, and they let me on, but they were not. They were, like, my buddy Tyler Fish is on the no fly list now for a joke. I believe it's Delta that he put online too. But the joke I had was Delta made this thing that said in the next 10 years, over 50% of our pilots will be people of color and female. And my tweet was, oh good, because then when we crash into a mountain, people will know I'm woke. Now, that harmless joke, right? Not even a good one, if I'm being honest with you. Now, Rob Schneider did come along and he did the exact same joke. I'm not saying he stole it by any means. Parallel thinking. Or really, it wasn't that original, Mick. Maybe it wasn't just that funny. But Rob Schneider kind of went viral on the same joke that I did. But that's okay. That happened, right? Parallel thinking and all that jazz. It's DEI, right? So, you know, and they were proud about that. So now, when this happened, they refused to release the pilot's name. The person in control of the plane, they just, for some reason, they just were reluctant until today. Today is Saturday the 20th? 21st, I believe it is. Saturday the 21st of February. What was that? 17, 18, 19, 21. 5 days later, it took them to release the pilot. And I don't even think it was released officially. I think it was just leaked. And the pilot was, you ready? Drum roll, please. Kendall Swanson. Kendall Swanson, right? That could be a boy's name or a girl's name, right? There's a lot of names that are boys and girls' names, right? I don't know. Pick one, Joey, right? Just, I mean, that's a lesbian and a guy, really, isn't it? But Kendall Swanson, very pretty young lady, right? Blonde hair, all that kind of stuff. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing about with Kendall Swanson. When you have a small, skinny, white, blonde-haired woman flying a plane. You know, I'm okay. I trust women to fly my planes. I do. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I've been on planes, and when I'm leaving the plane, I say goodbye and thank you to everybody. And this one day I went to the cockpit, was open, and I saw two women in there. And then I was like, you should have told me that. I wouldn't have got on this plane. But anyway, I still made it. I made it. That's the point. But I did say to him, next time you have to disclose that. You have to disclose that. And don't put you know when the captain comes on, he didn't come on once because it wasn't a he. So even she didn't want to alert the people in the plane. It was they put on the gay flight attendant guy, the guy who's always trying to be funny. You know that guy on Southwest? He's always trying to be funny. Oh my God, if you gotta, he's just over the top. It's like, mate, stop it. I'm going to my dad's funeral. Could you knock it off, please? So I've no problem with you know, white women flying the plane, just as long as you don't rely on crystals. Right? Isn't it? That's a white woman thing. Isn't it? Like, crystals. Like, what do you, like... So, and here's the thing. Here's a bit of the history of Kendall. So you'd let me know if she's qualified to fly this plane. I'm not saying she's not. You go to training. You learn the things, right? You learn the things. It doesn't mean... Listen, I went to classes and to shoot a bow, to shoot a gun, right? To go hunting, to provide if the apocalypse happens. That's it. I don't enjoy hunting. I just learn. I haven't been out in a while. Put that into practice. I'll probably miss the deer, right? And I'll hit a fat hairy guy. So, but anyone can learn. It's the practice. So let's talk about the experience that Kendall Swanson has. So up to a year ago, she was an instructor. 1 year ago, she was an instructor of a single-engine propeller plane. Little tiny, little weed whacker. You know, you're trimming the lawn, the side, the hedges. What were those called in Ireland? Oh, someone remember that and write it in there. But like edgers, right? And it was like a little tiny plane. And so the captain of the plane, which was a man, right? And he has a questionable record. Now, when I go online to list the questionable record, I think he was up in front of disciplinary action before. I'm not saying he was drunk while doing it. I'm not saying he was any of that kind of stuff. But he decided that he thought she was ready to land the plane by herself. So shame on him, right? Really, for making that bad judgment call. So is it really the man's fault or is it really the woman's fault? I think it's the captain's fault for trusting in her. So it's really his fault, isn't it? Like, he should have known better. He should have known better that she wasn't ready to land that big old plane by herself, right? Maybe in time she would have been ready. I'm not saying she wouldn't have. 5 years, maybe 3, if she's paying attention. right? If she's not doing her makeup in the mirror, oh, you're offended, you're upset. That's fine, it's fine. But all I'm saying is like, this is what happens. This is what happens when you go into, like, when Delta has this interview process and you open the door and you have Captain Sully there with the mustache, and then you have Kendall Swanson, and you go, hang on a second. Let's not look at the records. Let's not look at the flight records and experience. Fuck Sully, who can land on a river after being taken out by geese. Right? Fuck that. Let's go with the chick because it makes us look good. Always pick the man with the mustache. Always pick the man with the mustache. Not to go home with, ladies. If a man has a mustache, you don't let him near your children, and you never go home with him. You let him fly your planes. You let a man with a mustache fly the plane. Never mind your kids. Never go, hey, listen, I gotta, if you're at a Walmart and you gotta go, oh no, I forgot the cereal, I'm gonna run over real quick, you stay here by that man with the mustache. You would never say that. That's all I'm saying, right? So just, but that again, that's a DEI hire. And that shows the beauty of it all. That shows the beauty of going with emotion versus facts and figures. Isn't that lovely? So another thing I want to talk about, because I kind of talked about this on stage last night, this whole airplane thing. And I'm in New York City, of course, and it's a bit woke, in it, the city. NYC is a bit woke. And, one or two people booed me. And I laugh at that. I love that, right? I love a bit of booing, right? But in New York City, I think comics are very... Comics themselves are a little bit afraid, right? They're a little bit afraid to upset their audience. So they start to lean into the audience. They start to give the audience what they want instead of, I'm going to write a great joke. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I do it now too. I'm having the best time, right? The last few years, I've changed my way of thinking. My stuff online is what it is, right? It's just not really who I am on stage. Now, I have a lot more fun on stage. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't care I'll talk about what I want to talk about. But New York City's a bit sensitive. So what I want to talk about, there's a comedian, a female comedian, right? And I hate saying it like that because women aren't funny. A lot of them are not. Sure, a lot of them are not funny. A lot of female comics are terrible, but also a lot of male comics are just as terrible. How about we do that, right? But and I got a lot of good female, like Jessica Kirsten. I think she's a riot. If you go see her live, Liz Mealy, Carmen Lynch, great joke writers, just fantastic joke writers. But this comedian is probably one of my favorite comics. Right? Not my favorite female comic. I think she's one of my favorite comics. And Leonarda Joni. If you want to look her up on social media, as Leonarda is funny. Leonarda is funny. Man, she's a fucking riot. And here's what I want to talk about. Her jokes are just, they're like, because here's the thing, any comic, even the most woke comic, at least the ones I know, right? They will, in a green room, would be vicious. Fucking vicious. Abortion jokes, sexual assault jokes. I don't want to say, the rape thing because it gets taken down and that kind of stuff. But they're vicious. But when they go on stage, you don't take that with her. Leonarda, man, she is fucking a riot. But what I love about her is that she's getting shit from comedians now. And this is the thing. Look her up, man. She's absolutely hysterical. Like, without a doubt, one of the funniest out there. But she's getting shit from first she's getting shit from the audience members. She attacked Indian people for a while. Fucking hilarious. Now all of these people are like, regular people, like fat women are attacking her. And, it's fucking fun to watch, and she posts all of it. But my favorite thing to watch her now is that comics are going after her. Stand-up comics are now going after her. I'm like, and this is the thing about comics. Shut the fuck up. You know the process of jokes. You know where the intent comes from. You cowardly pieces of shit. You know the intent of a joke. It's not about hate. It's not about trying to hurt anybody. It's trying to just shock your brain, and that's what it does. It's not shock humor, because that's what a joke is. A joke is you've tricked your brain, and that's what makes you laugh. She is a fucking expert at it, and you just don't happen to like what she's doing. You don't like what she's doing. So as a comic, you should know better. You should shut the fuck up and just sit back and on. Like, listen, I can sit in the back and listen. I look at. Comic Strip, Comedy Cellar, Gotham Comedy Club. I'm all over. I'm all over New York City, and I'm around the best air quotes in the world of stand up comedy. I stand in the back of the room and I go, I don't like this at all. That's not for me though. I understand why they think it's funny. It's just not my style that would entertain me, right? But it doesn't mean that this guy is not a fucking brilliant comic or this girl is not a brilliant comic. It just means you are so fucking sensitive that you're trying to virtual signal by taking this woman down, and it's not going to work, I promise you, because I've kind of followed her for over a year and I've only watched her grow. I've only watched her go from fucking a club, right, which is a regular club. I don't know what kind of room. I'm not going to insult the room. I'm not going to insult her as a comic. A room, B room, C room, D room, right? We all do them. To just be in demand, right? And then the fucking pussies in Chicago, the Chicago comics. I've been to Chicago. I performed there at my own show, so I didn't have to be around you cunts, right? My own show. I went to Zany's, great club, right? I brought my own guys with me because I didn't want to be around you pieces of fucking sensitive Nallies. Just Nancy boys, right? So sensitive. And these comics, stay out of Chicago, you're not welcome. What is this, fucking West Side Story? She's going after comics now, and comics need that, man. Comics need to be called on their bullshit. Not like, listen, unless you're stealing, I personally don't believe in going after your material. And I've seen comics bring audience members up and put the arms through, like fucking total hack jobs. I truly believe, if you're making an audience laugh, then you're doing your job, right? I don't have to like it. I don't have to be entertained by it. I don't have to sit there and go, that's so deep, that's deep thinking. I don't have to like it. If you're making the audience laugh, you are doing your job and you're doing it well, right? Apart from stealing, go do you. Have a great time. But don't fucking come after comics because you don't like the content, because you don't have the balls to do the material she's doing, because it's fucking ballsy, man. She leans into it. She leans into it and it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. But to watch these comedians who they talk about we're full-time comics. You're not a full-time comic, right? Your wife is supporting you. Your wife she's an office manager somewhere for some dental firm, just so you can go out and pursue your dream of comedy. You know what I mean? She's fucking doing it, man. So like, just to watch them struggle and get upset it's bananas when you know the process of stand-up comedy. When you know how it works. She's fucking edgy. She's just funny. I'm telling you, man, you will enjoy her stuff. Follow her on Instagram. I'm telling you, you're just gonna fucking love it. Anyway, I said nothing funny in that thing. It was just kind of something I was watching and just kind of I wanted to vent. I really wanted to vent on that one, apart from just, I don't know what I was going to talk about, Trump and that kind of stuff. I didn't know politics this episode. Not great. I didn't know politics for those of you who complaining. Anyway, that's episode 96, 296 in the bag, right? Oh, I didn't do an episode last week because I didn't give a shit. I didn't feel like it. I was done. Now I'm going to go shower, go to bed, going to get up early tomorrow morning because I got to hit Atlantic City. But the show would have been done. But check out my Instagram. You'll see my whole tour dates are posted up there. I would go on Facebook, but I got banned from a joke I did about Joe Biden with the new owners, right? With their new way. Do you think they'd let me back on? That's something I should look into. Anyway, listen, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, and coming on back. I do appreciate you. And it will be the first episode that will be just below 20 minutes, unless I filibuster for a minute. Do you want me to do that? Should I filibuster? So today for dinner I had 2 pieces of steak, because I'm going away for the weekend. I didn't want to put 1 piece of steak in the freezer, so I kind of feel congested right now. So I have this feeling in my stomach where I don't know if I'm going to poop or fart, and I'm afraid. I'm at the age now where I don't trust farts. I just don't trust farts anymore. I'm at the age of that now where it's like I can't do this unless I go into a bathroom. There was a time where I would sit there, I'd have some barbecue chips, play Red Dead Redemption 2, shoot some people in the face, white people and black people equally, right? And I would fart and I would turn, I would just let it go. I would let it go. But now I'm at the age where I can't trust it. I just don't know what direction I'm going to go in. Anyway, that's been... Alright, and that's my time. Listen, as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.